many principles? One dozen?
Gerard, call the PD down later.
Alright, so folks, we are here in Bomi County, where His Excellency President Joseph Boakai hosts major cabinet meeting here in Bomi County. We have other ministers here, so the president is about to make his opening remark. I have to count down.
Good morning. Welcome to Tubmanburg. This is what they call Ellen Avenue. In the house here. Tubmanburg from Bomi. Their houses and their homes. I'm not from Tubmanburg, but I grew up here. I thought it was closer to Monrovia and to go out of there to go from. And I do have a farm here. And so we decided to build this place. And it's turning into a place where you can come and find some time to rest. But just for the time we get in, and the next day it becomes just as much as Monrovia. I want to thank all of you for coming all the way on this bad road. The road is how it is because of arrangement that was made before to give concession agreement that were hard, I know, without will. So we have to continue to live with it. Every now and then we intervene, we tell people how they could make life better. We can't do it for too long. I hope again that it will getting worse and worse. We intervene, but I want to welcome all of you and I want to thank you for taking the time to come all the way out here. Thanks to all of you who also came on the day of the birthday. A number of people that were here from all over. Very encouraging and very grateful. or people. Actually, I've come here because I wanted to avoid a crowd, but it looks like I should have changed. I always say when people don't like you, it's bad. When they like you, it's worse. But I'm very grateful. And it's good that we're having this kind of meeting here. There's a little change in venue. We hope we'll have the opportunity to do that once in a while. Thanks to all of you again for the support and the hard work. So today we know that a few more ministers are on the way. But we have a quorum. So we want to call this cabinet meeting to order. And our usual chaplain will lead us in the word of prayer.
Father, we thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for the opportunity to serve for a leader with a vision, a leader with purpose and with passion to transform Liberia. We ask as we deliberate, Heavenly Father, you take your hands, you give us wisdom, you give us understanding so that decisions can be made to impact the vision of Liberia. In Jesus' name we pray.
Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. Vice President. And John the President, I'd like to welcome you to the 8th Cabinet meeting of the year. And as the President said, the venue has changed, so some of you will be quite uncomfortable because of the city capacity. But nonetheless, it's still a Cabinet meeting, and we hope the results from this Cabinet meeting will be one that will lively around the country. Mr. President, before I proceed, I would like to do a few introductions. First, we have a new Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Mr. Stanton. We are sitting here today as the Minister of State. We also have a new head of PDU. You know, the PDU has been a vexing issue over time. Now, through your permission and approval, we have Mr. Mark Morba, who is now the new head of PDU. Yes, we also have with us the Minister of Mines and Energy, the new Minister of Mines and Energy, Mr. Tubmanburg. Welcome. Okay, as you can see, the agenda is quite loaded and compressed, but the most important part of this agenda, of course, as the President has always intimated to us, is creating jobs for the youth. And therefore, we'll brainstorm as a cabinet. I've asked a few ministers and heads of agencies who work directly, is in line with job creation, to chime in to see how we can collectively find a strategic approach to increase job creation in the country. And hopefully, at the end of this, we will have an accelerated job creation framework with specific responsibility from various ministers and agencies. The next item on the agenda, of course, is the question of jobs. You know, there have been some work, some improvement so far in tackling the job situation, but we want to hear from those who have been in charge of the responsibility to handle this and find a way how we can speed it up, where the gaps are, fill them, where we need to make some improvement, do that, especially in terms of rehabilitation of those who have been affected by the drug crisis. But it's also important that the drug crisis and the rehabilitation of those affected can also be linked to employment as well. So we see how employment is so critical in this meeting, for this meeting. The next item on the agenda, of course, is the budget. For the first time, we've exceeded the $1 billion mark, and so we are all happy. The minister will brief cabinet on the budget, some of the assumptions that went into the budget in terms of revenue generation and how the revenue will be allocated across the various sectors of government. And there are other issues on the agenda, including our role as a member, a non-member, non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. The foreign minister will be speaking to that specifically. Okay, Mr. President, without much ado, I would like that turn the agenda over to the meeting for you to present. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and sorry we overtook the press. As I said earlier, and thank you again for your presence here. We have a few things to highlight. Opening statement. As we begin the last month of the year, I want to recognize the broad aims across the government that we have made together. And I'd like to say this, I'm very serious about it. Sometimes I wonder, some people believe that they will have to do everything to be a part of the making of this country. But everything you do add to the making of the country. And I wish we knew, even when we're in opposition, we should wonder, if you came and you were not given a chance to do anything, and the next person comes and do the same thing, we do have a country. We wouldn't have a country. So all of us will play our part in our respective areas. And I want to appreciate everybody, whatever you do, even including our people who are not in government, who are doing good things for the country. We have to be very grateful to them. So a few things that happened in agriculture. The rice production is rising with nearly 15,000 hectares under cultivation. I would like to highlight that because all of these are based on information given us by those who are key players. So when they talk, you can go and check behind them. You didn't see it, let them come. Governance is strengthening as the rule of law is improved. We are not relenting in our fight against corruption. And I've already begun setting examples to demonstrate our seriousness. A case involved suspended, any official should be resolved promptly, and you know some of them have already resigned. And outstanding audit. Excuse me. Outstanding audit, along with matter submitted to the LSCs, we must address these without delay. And I'm saying without delay because sometimes these delays create other problems because people continue to talk about them, and also they affect our progress. The national security has improved. We must continue to intensify our effort against drugs. And I want to say that from all indication, even the fight against drugs is taken very serious, including the citizens themselves. I want to be grateful to them. Our young people need to be rehabilitated So it's not just fighting the drugs, but to rehabilitate some of those who've been affected. The economy is stabilizing, growth is accelerating. Key achievement this year that we have surpassed the $1 billion national budget. As you know, it's been a long time. We've been between 600-700 million. To make such an improvement, I want to congratulate all of those who have been involved in the tax regime, and most of this money comes from our own resources. That's really about the tourism establishment of tourism authority in Nigeria. It's a very important move. Internationally, Liberia is gradually regaining credibility and visibility. The public sector delivery depends on our strong performance. Our officials must collaborate, meet their targets under the performance management system. Maybe when we started, most people did not understand how that was working. But I hope it is working now, and provide regular reporting to track the outcomes of our foreign trips and engagements with development partners, and ensure that Liberia benefits from these trips and our efforts. The high demand of leadership will continue to guide our appointments. We have rigorous vetting of critical positions, and not at business as usual. It's not going to be based on party relations or any family connection. Because this country has been moved to put the right people in place, people who love the country, people who want to see a good country, and people who are competent. With DA leadership, want to inform all appointment particularly as we respond to the service delivery. It is important because it affects our youth and our country. And I want to go also further to say that we approach today's discussion with firm results. I'd like for some of the people, because it is difficult for people to know what is happening, if you have some special programs that you are pursuing that are maybe can brief us, because people want to know what is happening. If some people talk without knowing, we don't care much about those who don't want to say the truth. But we know what we're doing, and sometimes the things that you have in the pipeline that will make people know that things are happening. We have the chance to talk about that. One thing that is sure that we are committed to building this nation, and I'm saying that we are doing it on the basis of who we know, where we know about our country and where we want to move. I have other talking points such as in the agriculture sector, like we said, the rice production, but also in the infrastructure. It's expanding. Electricity, as in the MD was here this morning, I don't know whether he's around. I want to thank him very much for the hard work, and I see people are feeling that electricity is moving. I think one of the most recent ones is that want to take it all the way to Rama Street from here to the junction. I think that is ongoing. Integrity and accountability. Integrity institutions, we want to let them know also that they too are not above the law. to justice, and they have to monitor. We also are monitoring them, because they will have to be what they want us to be. So, subpoena tender cases, outstanding orders, LHCC matters must be resolved quickly, like I said. Security anti-drugs, we have talked about that. Fight against drugs being intensified. We want to warn those people who are doing these jobs that they are not, like I tell the police, that the badges they wear are not hunting license. I see the drug and drug people, they're running wild with things as if to say there's a license for them to break the law. That's not what we say. The results must show in what you do. Job creation is very important. There's no way we're going to go through this country this long without creating jobs. As I told you quite often that a lot of young people train, prepare to work, need jobs. Some people believe that all these jobs must come to the government. It's not possible. So let's do everything. I don't see the NIC mandate here. No? Okay. Then our international standing, which is very important. Sometimes we don't know, but these are all monitored very closely. And they have a lot to do with how we accept loans, how we support. And I think it's important that we are conscious of that. The public service performance, we've already talked about that. Knowing our leadership and appointment, we don't know everybody that we appoint. But we want to say that people who even recommend people must first believe in what we want to achieve, and they themselves must stand for it before they bring people. They just hold anybody as accountable who brings somebody who they know not the right person. We can help people, but when it comes to service delivery, it has to be the right people. And right people don't necessarily mean people who are academically competent, but integrity as well. Behind the corridors, I want to inform you about our relationship with two other branches of government have been improving very well. The legislatures have tried their best to work with us, the judiciary as well. And I think we need them to understand that we all need to work together to achieve for this country. We had a very successful conference in Banga. Thanks to the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Travachil, and all of these people, they turned up in numbers. They were well, first time I see them well dressed, and they were all in very good spirit. Of course, what I like to do for my own private record, I want to know the statistics and the number of leaders from each of the counties. Some counties dominate too highly. It will be interesting if you get to know. But they were all in good spirit. Some of the things that we are working on, and we have some commitment, is for a football academy in Banga. MNG have promised us that they will sponsor that. And we're not going to let them rest until they do it, because we need it. Banga, because of the central education. want to lay out the capitals. Some of the problems we have with land issues is because everybody want to be near the road. People will find out that opportunities are all over as long as the place is laid out. We are working on that. We want to relocate the fire station on Ashmont Street. I went to school right there. That's a small place, less than, I don't know, it's a lot or so. I don't see how we can continue to have that fire department there. So we're looking for a place to relocate. Here, the land, people are looking around. We want to do that because we have to improve that area elsewhere. I thought about road construction. We have some of the longest rainy seasons. So you start road construction, 6 months, you have to wait. So I thought the best thing to do is if it's 100, 150 mile road, we don't give it to one contractor, I think 2, 3, so they can work together. If we don't do that, we'll be taking 6, 7 years to build a road. So I think about it. We have to let our partners know that we have to work with respect to what our country is. Look at the Bangam and the Koma Road. It's almost going to how many years? Apart from the technical delays and all of these, but the rain season itself, I think, gave us chance to do it. So if we have 2 or 3 companies can make it faster. The other one is about the Omega Tower. You know very well that way back then we had this program about the Sally market women. When I became vice president, I think almost about 60–70% of my time was dealing with the issues of the market. And the Sally market women, the whole Omega area was surveyed for the market. We know that other things have happened in between, but I can let you know that we're taking over everything there. Yesterday we met with someone whom we have commissioned to raise funds to put up a modern market there that will have everything, like the medical facility. I want the women there themselves to learn to read and write. Their children too that come to the market, the parking lot, banking, everything will be there. That's what I want to build. And yesterday we had a very successful meeting with someone who had taken the leadership to help us raise funds for that. So those are some of the things that we intend to do. I don't know who here lives without a market, but for us to go to markets, I've been to Boakai before to see the slum from where our food comes and things not organized. I think that's not the way to go. So we talked yesterday. As they begin to raise the fund, we'll begin to do some of the jobs with the roads and everything. But those are some of the plans that we have in mind. And I'd like to see some issues or some of the billboards. For a long time I had a feeling that if I were to wake up in the morning and see a billboard and say, we are building this school or doing that, for some people it just gives them some special feeling. Sometimes we need to let the public know what plans we have. And that also have to commit to all those. Here the ERBC man is here, been doing a good job. He spent the night here. He's from this area. We want to thank him too for the expansion of the TV stations. They're not going to be TV stations like we know where you have to, I think, for they're saying that We had the normal TV and they put a transformer, and that gave us access. I don't know, Eugene, is Eugene here? I think he's out. So those are some of the things that we have in the pipeline, and as you know, we talk about them, but you are our GHL. You keep those promises for us. So I want to thank you again. As we go on, there will be a few things I would like to highlight, but the agenda of the day is before you. We want to go along with it. So this is just from my opening statement. But besides that, I'd like to also thank the Army for making use of the funds that was provided. The moment we dedicated the two facilities, Kakata and Sanekore, the next day 605 soldiers left the barracks. That showed how congested the barracks had been. The women there complained. There were about 2-3 families using one bathroom, which was not good. And I hope that more of this will be done. I want to thank the Army for making good use of it. I think they will have to brief us on the equipment that is supposed to be coming from Cameroon. We've been waiting. We have personally intervened. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kofi Woods, sometimes we need to be given progress report to know how we stand on that, so that if there are further interventions that we need to make, we make them. So I want to thank you and I welcome you. Again, we will come to the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, we'll please ask.
Of what was discussed. Sir, there. Again, I'm Jorarisi, is response Joe Spoon, Executive Mansion Reporter. So, folks, we are right outside here in Tubmanburg City at the President Joseph Boakai residence, where the 8th cabinet meeting is being hosted, and the president highlighted key issues concerns issues highlighted by the president. He talks about the road. He talks about the rehabilitations of barracks in the various counties and that have been done, and over 600 soldiers were moved to this barrack, named it Sanekore barrack. And he talks about the building of the president also will talk about the president highlighted opening an academy for kids in Bon County, that's a Banga City, and that will be done anytime soon. He said they have made the necessary arrangement for the country to have its own sport academy in Banga City, because Banga serves as a central point for all counties. The president highlighted that and also praised some of his cabinet members on the job they have been doing. Again, right after the cabinet meeting, we will again provide more updates and summary on whatever will be discussed and finalized within the today cabinet meeting. We have all ministers, deputies, and assistant ministers here in Bomi County, highlighting the president's arrest agendas for inclusivity. And we are here in Bomi County to provide you with major updates on the president meetings here in Bomi County. Again, I'm Gerard, the Ace of Prince Joe Spond, Executive Mansion reporter, and bye-bye.